Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Blake out here with a brand new podcast. Out here with getting ready to show you guys my first one ever. It's an honor to have my best friend from high school, Fitz, come on the show. Again, you guys know what we're about men helping men. Just try and get through this thing we call life. So, hope you enjoy. Comment if you got any questions, concerns, or anything to add. All right, thanks, guys. Bye. So today I'm here with a long-time, lifelong friend, starting from high school, my buddy Fitz. Shout out to him. He got me into this. He's got his own show, Fisticuffs. Like and subscribe. It'll be down below so you guys can check out his product. So, ladies and gentlemen, Fitz.
Thanks for having me. I think it's really cool that you're doing this.
Yeah, man, it's something I wanted to do for a long time. Had my own problems. Took a while for me to figure myself out. So once I did, just trying to help other people. Starting with friends. Hopefully, we're gonna expand this. Get out there, get more information out for guys that are having problems or just being men. Problems come with being a man. Life ain't easy, but there's ways to take care of it. So
props to you for coming out too and doing this, because may I note for the audience that you came to me. You actually live 1,000 miles or so away. I appreciate you taking the time to come over here and set this up.
Of course, man. That's what we're here for, man. So what's going on, man?
Got me sweating in the hot seat.
Got
the lights on. It's like an interrogation going on here.
It's all good, man. So you talk about anything you want to, man. What do you want to start with?
I guess from your perspective, kind of, you mentioned some things that you went through and figuring out some stuff yourself, and that kind of what prompted you to start this whole channel and this project. Could you elaborate on that a little bit more? Just some of the things that brought you to where you are today?
Yeah, so about a year and a half ago, we'll just call it, for record keeping sakes, life-altering event. Going through some bad times, had some bad thoughts, and luckily came out of it all right. I sought my own self-help. Wanted to be better for my wife, be better for my kids, be around in the long run, try to figure out myself. So I went through some changes, and they weren't easy. Started off doing good. As soon as I started the journey, everything started feeling really good, really fast. Went through about a month in, dude, I'm a rock star. I got life all figured out. Then about 3 months later, another life-altering event happened. Went out there, helped a whole bunch of people, helped them with the little knowledge that I had about what I had been through. Wanted to make sure they weren't going through it. Went out there, helped those dudes, and then the calm after the storm slowly started creeping in. Went back. For me, it was through, doctors, medicine, and stuff like that. Went back, talked to those specialists, the brain specialists and everything like that. Started talking to them what's going on in my life. Got diagnosed with a couple more things, and just kept going until I finally reached where I am now, where I decided to start this channel, where I don't know everything about this. I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to say this is going to fix your ailments, or I'm not a witch doctor or anything. I'm just trying to, one, impart what's helped me, and two, collect wisdom that I can share with other guys that are going through stuff. I know not everybody's about medicine. There's guys that just want to go out there and maybe meditate, maybe go on a hike, maybe go on a hunt, maybe just, do cold baths or whatever it is. I'm just trying to gather these things so that we, as fathers and men, you don't even have to be a father, but just as a man going through life, we can sit here, we can help each other and start opening resources to each other. So that's kind of what started me on this journey. And I decided after I found myself that I didn't see anybody else doing this. You know, I did looked around, tried to find this, and guys are selling me stuff. They're this and this program and da da da. Like, I'm not here to make a profit, man. I'm here to just talk to guys, make guys stay alive and be the best men, fathers, husbands, whatever they want to be that they can be. So,
No, that's great, and I applaud you for that. One thing that I've noticed through my own personal journey of just life, figuring things out. I've been down a similar path. No two paths are the same. No two experiences are the same. So
yeah.
I don't want to make it sound like I'm comparing because it's not apples to apples at all. It's very different. And someone could live your same exact life experiences and have a completely different
100%.
experience of those experiences.
Yeah.
And that's the interesting thing about trauma, grief, loss, pain, all of that. Everyone's experience of it is unique to that individual.
Yeah.
And I think too oftentimes the solution to helping solve those ailments is unique to the individual as well. Because like you've mentioned, I've tried meditation. For the life of me, maybe it's because I can't focus, maybe it's I'm too impatient, maybe it's because I've been accustomed, almost 40 years old, I'm accustomed to just a busy lifestyle. It's hard for me to sit in silence, close my eyes, listen to calming music or what have you, and disconnect. I have a very hard time with that. Similarly, I was so resistant to the idea of medication for the longest time. I feel like a lot of that comes with the stigma around mental health, and especially mental health with men.
100%.
After many years of resistance, I finally got on to antidepressant medication, anti-anxiety medication, and I was diagnosed with clinical depression. And again, this all happened right around or right after COVID.
Okay.
Which COVID messed us all up. I mean, we're still feeling the ramifications of that.
Yeah.
But it took me the longest time to acknowledge, like, hey, what I'm trying is not working. So I've been on medication for close to 3 years now. I'm actually at the point where I am weaning off of it.
Okay.
This is my final few weeks on medicine, and I'm completely tapered off.
Okay.
And what's interesting is, I don't know if everyone's seen that movie Garden State, an old one, but I remember at the time, I forget the main actor's name, the main character protagonist in the movie, the male actor. He was muted. He was disassociated, disconnected from life, from all his medication. And the whole point of the movie was, as he started coming off of it, he started to experience things again. I don't want to say that's what's happening to me, but I've noticed little things like parts of my personality are coming back.
Okay.
Things that I might not have been laughing at while I was under the influence of medicine, I'm now starting to laugh again.
Okay.
So it's just interesting. I feel like for me, it helped get me out of some dark times.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm at the point where I don't need it anymore.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing to acknowledge.
Right.
That's what that self-awareness is a super important thing. Self-awareness is what gets us to seeking help, and then realizing, okay, it's kind of like wearing an ace bandage if you sprain your ankle or something like that. Eventually, you're not going to need that thing, but you have to be self-aware. So I'm glad you're doing that. So.
Thank you. And I've talked to psychologists as well. Never a psychiatrist. I've thought about it, but psychiatrists are more for balancing your medication and helping to treat other forms of psychoanalysis, whereas what I was doing was more cognitive behavioral therapy, trying to change my outlook on life.
Okay. What you did, is it working for you?
I feel like at the time with therapy I plateaued. And I feel like that's common.
Yep.
Other folks that I know that have spoken with therapists, they talk about that plateau effect.
Yep.
They just feel like they've gone as far as they can with that person. They're not really getting much else out of it.
I'm just here and I'm paying them money and we're just going over the same bullshit that we always go over.
Well, and part of the stigma too with that is that just like seeing a doctor, and a doctor wants you to come back for a follow-up or come back to talk about something, it's all based on, fees for visitation and stuff. It's a business. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, medical services are a business.
Yep.
I think that's part of the hard part too. It's
Yeah, it is 100%.
trying to sift through whatever you're dealing with internally, but then thinking, is there really something wrong with me, or
Or is the system
is the
getting
system
to
trying
me?
to swindle me
Yeah,
here?
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I get that feeling.
yeah, I mean, the whole distrust of big pharma that you read about or see on the news and whatever.
Yeah.
And from my experience, at least, it's real. There are people that are
Yep.
very distrustful of.
That's why. So I've had other friends and family that just went to their general doctors, and they got put on one medicine, and the doctor never changed their medicines or anything like that. And this is just what I'm accustomed to. I'm not saying go out and try freaking different drugs or anything like that, but for me, that's what made me go to a specialist, because I saw people going to their primary care physician. This is the drug we prescribe, and we're just going to ramp up the dose until you stop complaining. And that is a problem. That we can have a whole other discussion on that. And that is a problem. Find somebody that you trust. Find somebody that you think has your best interest in mind. Find somebody that wants to work with you, that if this is the route you want to go down, don't settle for anything. If you got insurance, move doctors. Like, don't go with somebody that's just going to ramp up your dose and you say, hey, this ain't working for me. Well, let's just give you a little bit more. Let's just give you, no. Find a specialist, find somebody that works for you.
It's not easy. I mean, it takes work. Like, it's not like the first person you feel out or the first doctor you visit, it works out. Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like dating or courting. I don't want to be that juvenile with the example, but
Yeah.
before you find the person you're meant to be with, you got to try a few people out.
You're going
and
to
see
get your
what
heart
works.
broken. Yeah.
So it's kind of similar analogy here with medical professionals.
Yeah.
You got to find ones that click with what you're looking to get out of services, ones that have your best interests in
And the
mind.
same thing, like some of the best advice I got when I started therapy with everything that's going on with me, was after your first visit, if you're not all in with that therapist, ask for another one, because they don't care. I mean, it's not a personal thing, and I think just humans in general, not necessarily even males, but I know as a man, like when I go to a therapist, I feel like I owe them something or something like that, and maybe I try one. I'm like, hey, that okay, like I got a little bit of it, so let me try it again. Doesn't work. Like like I said, some of the best advice I got is, if you don't feel it, don't stick with it, man. Freaking find the next person. There's thousands of them out there. A real therapist, if they harass you, you probably got yourself a suit or a case. But regardless of that, they shouldn't care. They're about helping people. Just kind of like I'm here to try to help people. Like, if you don't like talking to me, cool. No problems here, but I just go talk to the next person. Like, you don't gotta sit there and talk to the same person and get feel guilted into keep talking.
Well, I think it works the other way too. I mean, when you're there talking to someone, being emotionally raw, oftentimes more raw than you've been with a spouse,
Oh yeah,
friend, family member. I don't want to say you feel entitled to something more like friendship. That sounds stupid to say, but you feel like you open up to them more than you do the closest people to you. So when you feel like it's not working out, or like they're not as emotionally invested as maybe you are, again, I don't know the studies on if this is like a real thing or not, but it seems like it's logical based on the fact that
yeah. This
Pour your heart and
is a
soul into
scientific
someone.
podcast, so
Right.
yeah, but yeah.
Right.
But I've been there too with you. Like, you're crying in front of these people. You're bawling your eyes out. You're confessing all the things either you've done wrong or that's been hurting you for years and years and years. And so in my opinion, the natural brain forms that bond, and then it hurts to rip it away. But when you're going through this healing process, you have to sit there and tell yourself, like, hey man, I gotta fix me right now. I don't need to fix the doctor. You got to fix you. And you know, it takes a lot, especially, you know, if you're like yourself, you know, a spouse, a father, a worker, all those things. Like it takes a lot to go through all this. Like it's not a, hey, I'm just gonna go down and buy myself a Happy Meal and be good to go, you know.
Right.
But
If only life were that simple.
right, man, sure,
Getting Happy Meals every day.
exactly. So what's your next step?
So I mean, like I mentioned, I'm tapering off the medicine. I was intending to be done with it by Halloween, but I honestly forgot to take my medicine this morning, and I feel fine.
Well, that's
So,
good.
so I think yesterday might have been my last day. Right?
Okay.
So, you know, I was on like a 100 milligram pill,
Mhm.
Zoloft. I cut that in half at the
Mhm.
beginning of September. So I was
Okay.
doing half dose the entire month. And then the half dose is the 50 milligram pills
Yep.
I now had. I was cutting in half again. So I was down
Okay.
to 25.
Yeah.
Tapering off. And that was my
Mhm.
plan to go through the month of October with 25. And then
Okay. Talk to your doctor about this, or you just kind of.
you're supposed to.
Yeah.
I did not, because my doctor was more interested in either upping my dosage or trying to have me see specialists to switch medication. And now, admittedly, based on where I was in life at that time, the things that I was
It's
sharing,
hard. Yeah.
I understand the doctor's perspective. Some of those dangerous thoughts that I was having, it was more environmental based, not necessarily brain chemistry based.
Mm-hmm.
Just little things like I mentioned, my personality coming back.
Yep. Yep.
You know, as you mentioned, I record some videos on the side.
Mhm.
One of them I was like cracking a joke, whereas I can't remember the last time I honestly told a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a long period of time where I just
Yeah, buddy. I've known you for a long time, man.
yeah, there's a period I didn't have joy.
Yeah.
I wasn't seeing the humor in things.
Mhm.
And as I started feeling more like myself again,
Mm-hmm.
which remind you, there was 3 years I've been on this medicine. Now,
Yeah.
3 years I haven't, quote unquote, felt like myself.
Yeah.
There were times I came off briefly and then went right back on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was off for maybe a month, but different things started happening. Like you just notice you're more irritable, or you're frustrated more easily, or you get overwhelmed by stuff. Anxiety has been something I've dealt with my entire life.
Yeah.
But that's part of the problem is sometimes the symptoms between anxiety and depression start to overlap.
Yes.
And you've got to figure
I learned that from myself. Yeah.
and you got to figure out what's depression, what's anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I still think by nature I'm an anxious person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I need medicine for that. I've started working out more.
Yeah.
You mentioned hiking. I hate hiking.
Dude,
For
Marine Corps ruined hiking for me, so I fucking hate hiking too, man.
For me, I don't like. I sweat a lot. I'm sweating right now. It's an air conditioned room, but I sweat a lot. Put me outside in humidity with a bunch of mosquitoes and bugs and mud and other stuff. I hate the experience. I know
Yeah.
people love it. My family loves it. I do not, but I go along with it.
Yeah.
But I started working out.
There you go. Good for you.
Which I hadn't done in a long time, but I started because, you know, I started getting a few jabs about my weight. I decided, you know, let me get up on the scale. Whoa, was I surprised?
Creeps up on you fast.
That, but also, too, I was thinking about it, and again, I'm not blaming the medication, but my doctor did say that some of the stuff that I was taking, part of the side effect was it's harder to lose weight.
Yep, I've known a lot of people that go through their general doctor, get the medicine, do what your doctor did. And I'm not saying, you know, you have a bad doctor or anything like that, but they had the same outcome. They gained 20, 30, 40 pounds. And I've known you forever. Obviously, you haven't gained that much weight, but
I've gained weight.
yeah, dude, we're getting fucking old, man. So we all gain weight, but the weight gain can come from these antidepressants. I mean, I knew a guy who was taking an antidepressant. He'd come home from work, he'd put his pajamas on and go to sleep for 3 hours, wake up, eat dinner, and go back. Like, and the doctor's like, "Oh, well, you're not depressed." And it's like, well, yeah, but I can't stay awake and enjoy my family because I'm tired all the time, and now I'm getting fat. And then you have a different type of depression. Like now I don't feel good about myself because I'm turned into a fat piece of shit. And so,
It's funny you mention all that because before I went through and experienced it myself, I always was of the mind that, if someone's depressed or an antidepressant, it's like, oh, stop being sad. Like, look outside, it's sunny, don't be sad.
mm-hmm.
And it was so uneducated, so ignorant, that viewpoint, because having experienced depression firsthand, not just experiencing it, but to have a medical professional
Yeah.
diagnose me as having clinical depression.
Yeah.
It was like a wake-up call. And I would use the analogy to people when I would describe it, like the worst of it. You mentioned your buddy going to sleep, waking up to eat, then going to sleep again.
Mm-hmm.
There were days, 24-hour windows,
Mm-hmm.
where I would just lay in bed in a dark room in the basement of my house and completely ignore wife, kids, responsibilities, phone. I would just be hunkered down like a bear in hibernation and just let days pass. Not eating, just sleeping. And when I would emerge from my basement space, you've seen those commercials where they talk about antidepressant medication, what depression's like. It's always like someone walking around and it's like sunny everywhere, but over this one person, there's the rain cloud raining on them.
Yeah.
I felt like that, but then take it a step further. Think of being fully dressed, but add more layers of clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Jump into a pool or some other body of water, get out.
You got all that weight.
Walk around like that.
Yeah.
While there's still the cloud
Mm-hmm.
raining around you,
Yeah.
and everything is dark.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time it's happening, people tell you, I'm here for you, reach out, talk. You don't want to.
No.
You don't want to burden someone. Even if you do, you feel like you're either oversharing or people aren't really interested or people just say these niceties to feel like they're
to make themselves feel better.
Basically. Yeah. And I experienced a lot of that too, where it's like a compounding effect with depression, where you already feel hopeless or trapped, and now it feels even more isolated. And throw on top of that all the other crap we went through with COVID, becoming new parents or, new family, other dynamics, stuff not going the way you hope it will. I got laid off a year and a half ago from a job that I saw myself being with for the rest of my career.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, year end of that job, I got a high performance review, high raise, all these things. 6 months later, they're not only showing me the door, but kicking me out of it, kicking hard out the door. And it's like, okay.
How do you gain trust back into humans after that,
Well, it was just too, as a hit to the pride, but also I was still in the midst of depression.
Mm-hmm.
If you're already feeling like a loser, now you really feel like a loser.
Now you can't support, you feel like you can't support your family.
Right.
Now this other stuff, Like, I'm with you, man. Like, when I was young, man, I thought depression was a joke too. Like, hey, dude, buck up, be a man, everything like that, going through the service, yada, yada. And then, my buddy Mark, he, committed suicide. I was like, hey,
something good's got to come from tragedy.
Exactly. Yeah. Like this has to be real. If this guy that I know that was, a youth leader and the happiest person I know, like obviously this is real. And so, I took that into consideration, and then years and years went by, and you're being a man. You're being either a father or a spouse or even just a single man going through the world trying to, provide success for the nation or whatever your goals are, as a male figure. And then one day I stood up on my chair after the most petty argument. Hey, you go upstairs and you want to taste the front side of a gun. And that's when this whole thing kind of started going. Thank God, things happened the way they did, and I'm still here, and I'm talking to you, and everything like that. But all this shit that we're talking about is real. They're real feelings, and that's what we got to get through to a lot of these people out here, that what you're feeling is real. Like it's not made up. It's not, I just need to shut the fuck up. I gotta man up. It's real. And if you don't take care of it now, you're not ever gonna take care of it because all these things compound. Imagine a trash compactor. You put a couple paper plates in there. Yeah, that's that. All right, well, a couple more paper plates. All right, we got a trash compactor. We'll just push these down. And you keep doing that for years and years and years. Eventually, that trash compactor ain't gonna pack them damn paper plates. I mean, they're paper plates, but eventually the shit can's full, and we gotta deal with it. And it's much better to deal with it before that trash compactor starts jamming up. So.
Yeah, two things I'll say to that. So when I was in my darkest hours, I remember being outside driving over bridges and literally thinking multiple times, man, it'd be nice to just stop the car and jump.
Mm-hmm.
And the thought of that, it's very scary and morbid
Oh,
speaking now.
yeah.
The thought of it at the time when I was experiencing it brought me the slightest feeling of comfort.
Mm. Yeah, you were in the shit.
I was in it. And, before having kids, I used to be a gun owner.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to the birth of my kids, I got all the guns out of the house.
Okay.
I'm so glad I did. I did it for their safety. Because
Okay.
you hear so often about
Yeah.
accidents. And I know I could get a gun safe and this and that, or put it somewhere else, or
Yeah.
locked in a gun safe up in a garage outside that. Yeah, whatever. You could come with anything
Yeah.
to say I should keep my guns, whatever.
It's just what you decide to do at the time.
And I'm
You're-
glad-
it's
and I'm-
not like you're
and I'm
not
glad-
anti-gun owner. It's
No.
just what you decide to do at the time.
And I'm
Yeah.
glad I did because, again, being in the darkest of that depression,
Mm-hmm.
you talk about biting on, the silver end of a barrel. I probably would have done it.
Yeah.
I probably would have. The second part I'll say to that too, going back to your buddy Mark, rest in peace. I only met him a handful of times.
Mhm.
I didn't know him that well.
Yeah.
One thing I remember though is I did come with you to his funeral service, his
Yep.
wake, celebration of life.
Yeah.
It was a very large church.
Yep.
And it was filled.
Yep.
And there were people out the door.
Yep.
And I always used that, even though I didn't really know the guy like you did, I use that as a reminder that even though things seem really bad, there are people that care. Even if in the
100%.
thick of the shit, you don't see it or know it.
Yes.
And I've thought about that so many times, more times than I've ever shared with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I can relate to feeling hopeless, feeling literally at the end of your rope,
Mm-hmm.
literally about to tie a rope around your
Yeah.
neck. I've been there literally.
Go buy a short rope and a
And-
wobbly stool. Yeah.
But then to think about all the lives you'll impact, and not for the better,
No.
but the void that your absence, your permanent absence would leave. That plus being a father, I don't want to do that to two boys. That's
Yeah.
been my biggest deterrent.
They say children save a lot of men's lives. I know it saved mine. I know other friends that it has saved. But you're 100% right. I mean, going to friends' funerals of mine and seeing other videos, like I have unfortunately way too many bracelets on my wrist for friends, but you're 100% right. Like the people that you don't see when you're in your darkest times have to live with the choices you made in your darkest times. So you either have the choice to let them live with your consequences, or you get to fix yourself and go through the rest of your life and show the consequences of your actions that are good to all those people that are going to show up at your final resting day. And I mean, I just put a buddy in the ground. God rest his soul, Sam. He died of cancer. No self-harm or anything like that. Came on quick. But I mean, we packed a huge warehouse of friends. And that was a celebration of life for somebody that didn't, yeah, did he go too early? 100%. Like, the man was a legend, a man amongst men. And it's super sad to see him, but natural causes are natural causes. I mean, yeah, this cancer sucked, but hey, man, we don't get to choose who has cancer. We get to choose who takes the barrel of a gun. We get to choose if I'm gonna buy a short rope and a wobbly stool. We get to choose if we're gonna freaking jump off that bridge. So I'm glad you got to see that, and that, has stuck in your mind to help you say, I don't want all those people at my funeral before it's my time. Because that's what suicide is. Like, you're choosing to end it before your time. Suicide's a real thing. Like, it happens. Like, it's super sad. It devastates families. You think, a lot of people think that they're just going to drop all their burdens and, all right, I'm going to leave my family of all these burdens. Like, I'm the problem, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm a bad father, I'm a bad boyfriend, I'm a bad friend or employee or whatever the fuck it is. And it's twisted. And I understand how it gets twisted, like, having gone through that and everything like that. I'm sure you can agree. Like, it does get twisted in your brain. But you got to figure out a solution to untwist that rope. That's what I did. That's what you're doing. We'll talk about more about what you're doing here in a second, but it's not relieving anybody of anything when you leave this earth prematurely, by suicide. Cancer or, car accidents, stuff like that. Those all suck, but those are things that people, it hurts. It hurts really bad. Especially, like I said, I just buried a good friend of mine. It hurts really fucking bad. It's a lot easier to deal with that than it is somebody deciding to play God on themselves.
One, I think the reason is because of that, like you're saying, like, why did my friend die in a car accident? It was just their time. It was just circumstance. Why did this person die of cancer? Well, unfortunately, it happens. The harder part is, why did someone kill themselves?
100%.
The weight of having that question without answers, even if someone leaves a suicide note or something, you don't get closure.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not saying you necessarily get closure if someone tragically dies in a car accident or what have you.
Yeah.
But it's different.
Yeah.
It's different because you can, I don't want to say rationalize because that makes it sound like I'm heartless, but your mind can comprehend it.
If you take care of it, yes.
Yes.
And even with, like, I know we're sitting here talking about, self-care and all that other stuff, but you still got to take care of all the hardships in your life. But, like, for the suicide thing, yes, you're 100% right. So, yes, I understand that it takes a long time to deal with suicide deaths because my friend took his own life in 2010. I didn't take care of it. And because of that, and a bunch of other things, just because of the nature of somebody deciding to play God or whatever you believe in, to end their own life, I couldn't compartmentalize it until 2024. That's 14 years of pain, so it sucks. Like, if you're thinking about doing it, man, don't do it. Or at least think about that. Like, you're not helping anybody by doing that. And that's why we're here. Like, I've seen the pain it causes families. I've seen the pain it's caused me personally. And, and this show isn't just about, suicide and all that other shit. It's about, we have to talk to each other. And that's why this was all created, to talk to each other. Like, hey, what's working for you? What do you think's working for me? Okay, I disagree with this, blah, 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 blah. Like I said, me and you hate fucking hiking. That doesn't mean a dude can't say, hey man, hiking saved my fucking life. Like,
True.
So,
The other
but
thing, the other thing I hate is camping. Having to go outside, sleep on hard earth, either cold at night or hot and sweaty. You're stinky. You can't shower. But it's fun.
it's not fun for you, buddy. It's fun for some of us, but
True.
oh shit.
Well, talk about compartmentalizing, which again, if we're talking stereotypes, there's a big stereotype that men are better at compartmentalizing their problems than women. I identify more on the women's side. I have a hard time compartmentalizing. I'm a type where when something is on my mind, it's on my mind. It takes front and center,
Mm-hmm.
and also I'm a Taurus. I'm stubborn like that. I will just run with whatever's going on. So I mean, for me right now, next steps, compartmentalizing. Yeah, you try to find distractions wherever you can.
But why? What do you need to distract yourself from?
Well, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff like just being in the world. The world can be a negative place. You hear negativity all over the place, whether you're
Mhm.
turning on a news program and just hearing the 24-hour loop of what's going on. I'm not even talking politics. I'm just talking things in the world.
Yeah.
People,
Tragedies.
people dying,
Yeah.
people killing others,
Yeah.
airplanes crashing into stuff on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these things. Like it's
Violence.
I'm trying to think of that quote. They say it at the end of the movie Seven, where Morgan Freeman says, he's quoting some author, he says, "The world is a beautiful place and worth saving." And he says, "I agree with the second part." That's kind of how I feel sometimes, right? Like, so I mean, I think in this sense, first you learn to cope with the world around you. It's like having a wound on your leg, right? First, you got to put the ailment on it. Then you got just so you can like get through the day or walk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to figure out what's really wrong with your leg. So I think I'm at the part where it's like I've got some ailments in my tool belt.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some stuff where I'm trying to find a form of peace or comfort.
Trying to figure out what Neosporin's working for the wound.
But there's still the bigger issue of how do I prevent the wound from festering?
Mm-hmm.
How do I prevent the wound from getting bigger? How do I prevent the wound from getting reopened?
Yep.
And sometimes it's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard, right?
Yep.
So, for me, I have a lot of hobbies, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of nerdy hobbies too.
Yeah, dude.
But I have hobbies that distract my mind when I need to. I'm fortunate I have a job where I can work from home 5 days a week, but I actually have been going in an office. The reason why is because my work at home environment, I'm in a dark basement.
Mm-hmm.
Dark basements, no sunlight, goes hand in hand with depression.
Yeah. Vampire mode.
Go into an office, got a big window right by me, like right behind me.
You're interacting with people.
Sunlight, right.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not like meeting with people or talking to people.
Yeah, but you see them.
There's people around.
Exactly. Yeah.
Versus just sitting alone in my cave.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. Now, through my company, my key card, my badge also opens up a gym that's owned by like the property management company.
Okay.
So I mentioned
People that own the building
yeah,
that
so
your
I,
company's in.
so I started going, right? So
yeah.
I'll stop working at 4:30 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
go work out for about an hour, and I can still get home and be home at a good time, to
To
see
do
my
your
family.
fatherly duties. Yeah.
Right. So the trade-off is, if I'm skipping out around 4:30, I'll still go work like 8 in the morning.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
So it's a balance.
It balances
Yeah.
out. So there's that stuff, and
Is it working, or are you just trying?
depends on the day. Still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Knowing though that I want to do it without medication, I'm ready to try to figure it out on my own. And if something happens in a few weeks, a month, whatever, where I feel like I'm more irritable than I should be, or I'm overreacting to things, that happens. That's part of having that chemical imbalance. And that's what an SSRI would do, is help you bring those endorphins up and oxytocin or whatever the hell it all is.
Cancel out some of the triggers in your life.
So I'm trying to figure out still, not to discredit medical professionals, but do I still truly suffer from depression, or is my depression a product of my environment? And that's what I'm really playing, Dr. Fitz on here, scientist Fitz trying to figure out the answer to.
Yeah, and that's where, like you said, you talk to therapists and stuff like that. And you feel like you hit the end of the road, and like I said, I understand that.
Well, that and like, yeah, you get a new therapist, but I don't want to go through the entire backstory. I don't want to start with a trauma timeline
No,
of
no,
everything that I remember.
you don't have to.
And give them all the background.
If they
get
ask
caught
you,
up to
yes,
speed.
exactly, and relive that trauma.
I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
It's dating.
Gotcha.
I don't feel like dating anymore.
Gotcha.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of inviting a girl to dance and
Yeah. Okay.
finding out that my infatuation was in my head, that the
Mhm.
reality of it doesn't live up to my hype.
Okay.
That's kind of where I'm at with this.
Okay, I can understand that. So what?
That and the fact that with my new job, the insurance that I have doesn't cover therapy like my old insurance package did. So everything's out of pocket, which
Is a burden.
if you really need
Yeah.
help, sure, but I'm paying for a lot of other things out of pocket.
Oh.
And
Good.
we're a one income household.
Okay.
So it's like, well, this is where the stereotype of manning up kind of comes back into play because it's like, well, gotta take care of the family.
Yes.
But you gotta take care of yourself too. I know that, but I'm also trying other things too.
Yeah.
I've got a tool belt with other tools in it.
Mhm.
I'm pulling this out, pulling that out,
Yeah.
figuring out what's working.
Yeah.
And I'm getting closer to figuring out stuff that's making me feel better.
So I like the tool belt analogy, as you know, I'm currently in law enforcement, and that's what we always say. You know, our duty belts are full of tools. It's not full of a gun, a radio. They're tools to figure out the problem. And what we need to start doing here is, if you don't have the tool, what is the tool that I need to start putting on my belt? You know, so I like that tool belt analogy.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm serviceable with my tools.
That's good.
Like, sure, I've got a manual saw. Would I be better off with an electric saw? Sure. Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Or I've got a hammer.
But sometimes that doesn't
I've
fit on
got
the
a
tool
hammer
belt.
and I'm
Yeah.
hammering all these nails. Would I be better off with an air hammer gun? Of course I would.
Yeah.
But I'm getting by with what I've got.
Okay.
And that's kind of where I'm at. It's
But are you getting by, or are you in a survival mode?
no
Or
survival mode was driving over a bridge and not stopping a car.
Okay,
I'm not in that.
that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I'm not walking outside and feeling like I have 1,000 pounds weighing me down.
So, if what you got is working and you're maintaining that happy lifestyle, that's what I want. If you're not, I want to figure out, what do you need to be happy?
Well, I think about it like this. I'm going to use another stupid analogy I'm making up on the fly. But I remember growing up in early to mid 90s, there was the Addams Family movie.
Yep.
And one of the things I remember from that movie, there was like a secret room in the house, like the treasure vault or whatever, and to access it,
Oh, yeah.
there's a room
Yep.
with all the chains.
Yep.
You had to pull the right chain
Yep.
to
Yep.
access the vault.
Yeah.
And I think a common misconception that hangs up people is that there is no one chain that fixes things. I view this as a multi-chain approach. And what I mean by that is, if I'm feeling like poo, it's a combination of things. For the longest time, I was a fast food junkie. There was a period where I would eat fast food 4 or 5 times a week
Mm-hmm.
for many, many, many weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have it maybe once a month, maybe. So eating better. I know people say
Make you
that.
feel better.
I know people say that, and I always thought, oh, it's bull. But honestly, it's combination of things. It's eating better.
Yeah.
It's drinking enough water.
Yep.
For the longest time too, I consumed alcohol. Alcohol was wrecking my sleep. Like, it doesn't matter if you have 1 beer or 10 beers. Even one little beer, I would feel it affect negatively my REM cycles at night.
That's good.
So
Like I said, it's all about recognition.
So I cut that out.
Good.
I rarely drink these days. Not because I'm anti-alcohol. I just
It's not
realized
working for you.
it makes me feel better not. Well, actually, the joke is, I went pro early and I retired. So I don't really need to drink anymore because I was pro a long time ago.
Yeah.
But there's that, and then the working out part, right? So currently, right now, I am focusing on my sleep. I am focusing on better water. I am doing more home cooking slash
Yep.
calorie reduction, like not eating crap, not
Yep.
not snacking mindlessly on chips or
Yep.
candy
Yeah.
and soda.
Having a good diet that works great because it teaches your kids how to have real food.
There's that, and then the whole thing, getting out of the house, getting in the sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
At one point over the past few years dealing with depression, I also learned that I had a vitamin D deficiency.
Yeah.
I overcame that by going outside, some taking some supplements,
Mm-hmm.
but it was also, I don't know, a month of February or something where I was diagnosed with that.
Yeah.
That's part of the story.
So.
But back to your initial question though, I'm pulling the right chains that are working for me. Do I currently have the most optimized chain pulling sequence that makes me the best form of myself as possible? I think you could always be better. So to your question, is it working for me? That's why I said it is.
Oh no, dude! I 100% get
but that's the point.
Yeah.
It's like I'm still feeling what
Mhm.
chains are working. And another chain I'm currently pulling is getting off medicine
Yeah. Oh,
and working out more and
Yeah.
this and that. So I'm getting the right balance in.
that's good. That's good because
I'm feeling better.
yeah. Oh, yes. That's the trajectory, right? It's a slope. It's not a. All right, we bought in at $0, and tomorrow we expect it to be $1,000. That's not how it is. It's a trajectory, and as long as we're working on improvement, there's a good saying of why wait for perfect if we can start with good and make our way up there. So I think it sounds like that's kind of what you're doing. Like you never waited for perfect.
I don't.
You never
believe,
wait
I don't,
for the.
I don't believe in perfect, and I've had doctors or therapists question if I'm a perfectionist just because of mannerisms or things I was exhibiting. I don't believe perfect even exists.
Mhm.
It's not attainable. Therefore, how can I be a perfectionist if I don't even believe? I don't even believe
you
that
can't
that's
obtain
possible.
that. Yeah, yeah.
It's like you telling me I could fly without being an airplane. Just get me to fly. I don't believe it can happen.
Yeah.
So how could I ever be accused of being some aeronautical
Mhm.
being that's going to fly on my own? Or
But there's no fault in trying to be better.
no,
Because I think that's what we all should be doing.
yeah,
Like, as either a single man, a father, a spouse, or whatever, an employee, or whatever you want. I mean, unless you have a freaking shitty employer, then fuck them. But
I think it's always possible to improve.
yeah,
I think it's never possible to be perfect. Nothing is perfect.
yeah.
I think people get tripped up on the idea of chasing perfection.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear though that you have a plan. Like that's the biggest thing. Like a lot of guys that I talk to don't have a plan. They never started a plan. I know me and you have been talking about your journey for a long time before this ever, this thing even started. But the plan is good. I was a Navy SEAL. I was a fucking special guy. But a lot of those dudes say the way you make it through the tough times, and I believe this because I've used it myself, not in the special operations world, but is setting a goal. We're all climbing stairs, and the stairs go on until you decide that this is where I want to stop, and I'm glad to hear that you didn't say I'm stopping here. So, and I'm glad to have you because that's what I believe as well. Like my steps are now, who can I help? And I just want to make sure you're good, man. Like that's what this whole thing's about. We're not gonna leave everybody out here. Like I said, the Emperor's voice is just like the Emperor Palpatine's. When shit gets tough, the men circle around and we take care of each other. So